You're ready for this? G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, I'm trying to keep a straight face, trying not to giggle, because this is the part 2 review of this Diatone, and this is the part I'm laughing at. It's the Meaty Boy. So that's what Cal and myself, we've named this the Meaty Boy. Its official name, I think it's like the GM for whatever it is. It's linked down below, but it's a 6S racing beast with the most meatiest, chunkiest motors you've ever seen, and it is ridiculous. You wait till you go and see this flight footage. So that's what it is. That's where we take this out to the field, rip it around, hit it with the speed gun, put a 6S on here, and this, let me tell you, is an amazing craft that I can't wait to show you. If you want to see the part 1, that's the bench breakdown, the text and the specs. Thank you, somewhere up there, YouTube or in the description down below. That's where you can check that out. And this actually is very special, and it kind of puts me in a difficult position because our drones are getting better and better all the time, and a lot of, and I'm going to say hands down straight away now, and this is where the internet gets triggered. So many people are going to flip the desk, get very upset and jump on the keyboard. Stuart, that's not correct. But I'm calling it. I'm saying this is better than the Hawk 5, and the reason is the Hawk 5 is kind of old now. I think I reviewed that about 6 months ago. Technology's progressed, and the way this handles and how beautiful it is, that's just the nature of the beast. So yes, the Hawk 5 used to be the best buy and fly at about $220. That was the Emax. You can go watch that video. That should pop up there. But now, this is here 6 months later, and I am very thankful, very rigid, and you wait till you see what this can do on a 4S, a 5S, and a 6S. It makes it such a versatile rig with some very, very cool stuff. So, enough rambling from me. We'll summarize it towards the end, but you just wait and see the footage and see the speeds and see what Cal thinks when we put a 6S on the Meaty Boy. And I wonder if that's actually going to get its name changed, a little nickname. Let's start a petition. Put your comments down below. Should this be called the Meaty Boy instead of the GM540, whatever it is? Anyway, enough rambling. Let's go have some fun and get set to get stunned, because a very, very cool drone from Diatone. So let's go do it in 3, 2, 1, meet! Radio out here, Calvin. I just quickly showed him this. He was like, what's that, Meaty Boy? And yes, he's exactly right. We're checking out the Diatone Meaty Boy. That's not its real name. It's linked down below, but that's what we're going to nickname it, because it is a beast with some crazy motors. We'll fly it around here, hand it over to Crash Test Cal. I'm going to show you some HD footage with HD, and also hit it with Speed Gun Sally and see just how this 6S beast is going to go. All right, let's do it. Have some fun with the Meaty Boy. Okie dokie, here we go, on board, some HD footage. This is it on a 5S pack first up, and I always try to search for some footage that does the craft justice, and sometimes that's maidens, and you can see just how responsive it is straight off the bat. Sometimes that's some really quick laps and all that sort of stuff. This is the first pack of the day and on the field, and unfortunately, with some 5S goodness, but unfortunately, the GoPro actually broke, or the little holder that comes with it. So you're going to see what happens there. I did freak out a little bit because it had some footage on there that I did not want to lose, but I'll also show you some DVR of some other flights as well. So we will have some 6S and some 4S action in here. Now, of course, flying around, you're always a bit sloppy, I guess, on your first ones, but for a 5S little beast, this is absolutely beautiful to fly around. You can see it's got plenty of speed. It still does take a little bit to get used to. I probably need to dial in the rates just a little bit tighter, but overall, as I keep flying this thing, it just gets quicker and quicker. I didn't really notice the weight too much. I would like to put some more aggressive props on here, but I felt like for a 5S rig that you can take out of the box, plug in, it was absolutely beautiful. It was smooth, it was responsive, and it had power to boot. And yes, I do miss that gate a few times. I think I line it up in a little bit, but yeah, first maiden flight. I want to stress that quite a lot as well. Now, probably my favorite thing about this, and this came with talking with Cal and some discussions, is, this is on a 5S, and I think that's really where this thing is suited. You can go crazy, and you can put it on 6S, and it's still very, very responsive. So that would be for, I guess, the upper echelon of the pilots out there who want some insanity, or if you're going to put 6S on a racing rig, this is about as fast as it's going to get. Or you could also, if you're a beginner and you just want a quad, you can take out of the box and fly around. Something like this on a 4S is going to be quite, I'm not going to say timid, but is still going to fly around very nice as well. So that's why I think this is one of the best value drones out there. I mean, for performance wise, absolutely. The $220 mark is probably
where I think most drones are aiming for. It's really bang on the money with the Hawk 5. But for me, what really gets this over the line is its versatility. How many drones out there do you know that you can start on a 4S if you're a beginner? You can have it on a 5S if you've got some experience under your belt, and that's probably where I'll find most of this. Or if you're just absolute, I guess, freak god on the sticks, you can put a 6S on there and rip a new hole in the sky. Now, some of the other features I should probably mention, it's got a lot of things to boot that's nice when you're flying around. Smart audio, nice clear OSD. The camera was quite crisp and clear. Some good colors will show you some DVR, and you didn't really feel the weight in the end of those motors. So overall, I think they've done a fantastic job. If you're looking for a craft, and this is the first time I've ever been really able to say, no matter what your skill level, this thing is it's going to cater for you. And the crazy part too, its tune, it didn't need a tune really between the 4S, 5S and 6S. So very, very cool stuff right there. It does murder your batteries though, I should say that as well. And then right here, this is why we don't see any more GoPro footage, and we've got to go to DVR.
Oh, and I don't have a GoPro, unless it just broke now. Woo! I better unplug this. Okay, that part was a little bit scary. So I just murdered my 5S battery. I wasn't really paying attention too much, and the GoPro holder, which was a bit of a prototype sent over, obviously doesn't take a crash very well. So I don't know if we're going to get some more footage on here with the GoPro, but my heart sank, went over to get my quad. It's got all my recordings on this SD card, and there was no GoPro. Luckily, it was just next to it. Whew, crisis averted.
So that would have been an absolute disaster. I don't know how many of you have had an awesome flight or flown around and think that was great. You go to check your GoPro and it's not on your craft. And yes, that could have been hours of searching if we might have even found it all. But here we are on the 4S, and that's why there's no more GoPro footage, because we couldn't strap a GoPro to the top. But we can show you some DVR as well, so you can see a really nice crisp camera, not getting too much noise coming through, a little bit of interference, but that's kind of standard across all drones. But one thing they do need to do is calibrate that little bar at the bottom, so just to let you know what sort of battery that you're running, whether you're running a 4 or 5 or a 6S. It doesn't seem to handle that too much. So I was focused on that too much, and it seemed to drain my battery a little bit. You can see the volts are definitely getting down. But what I do want to stress is on a 4S, look at this footage, and just because it's a 6S rated rig doesn't mean you need to fly it on a 6S battery. If you're a beginner and you just want to get something to practice on the sticks, that doesn't mean that you still can't go very, very quick with this. I mean, look at this footage. You can see for a 4S pack that's even on a 6S rig, very, very fast, very, very smooth, and very, very responsive. Really, really easy to control. The throttle management was probably easier than most of the other craft out there. So I'm a huge fan of this because it can grow with you. So if you want a 4S and you're just starting out, or you only fly 4S batteries, don't think that this craft won't be an awesome option, because it's just not the case. I was really blown away with just how well it goes on 4S as well.
Alrighty, CTC, we've got the meaty boy here in our hands, aptly named. But I guess before you fly it around, what did it look like in the air? And then I want to know your impressions of the craft and how it's set up.
It looked like a pretty good performer. It was solid, it was smooth, it was fast. And you were the one that was flying it, and I think you did a pretty good display.
And that was on 5S as well, I should mention.
That was on 5S, yeah.
So you're about to rip it for the first time on 6S, so we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, so it's a fairly low KV setup, I believe. What is it?
1950.
1950, so it should rock this 6S beautifully. So I'm keen to see what that feels like.
And we've got some wind dancer props on there, which traditionally are not the most aggressive either, but who knows.
And they are quite substantial motors, I must say. They don't feel too notchy. They look like they've got some beautiful windings. They look nice quality. I'm still wondering if Sunny Sky, I think Sunny Sky are making all the edge motors for these guys, so they seem like they're pretty good quality. And from what I just saw, they are good quality. They go well with some heavy props, which is going to be nice. And it looks like a really substantial frame, I've got to say that. It's very thick carbon. This would have to be 5mm, I have to say, these arms. It's got a nice aluminium sandwich plate clamping those arms together, which is something I like a lot. So it seems incredibly strong for a somewhat, rather aerodynamic racer. So,
does it feel heavy?
Look, it does a little bit, because we've got a fairly good size 6S battery on there at the moment, and we've got some substantial motors. But I think that'll all be sort of neutralized once this is up in the air and moving about.
All right, should we put it up? Let's go.
Let's do it. Wow. Wow.
God, that's loud. Can you do a punch first? Wait till I'm, okay, it's gone.
Wow.
Okay, I'm coming back to you, Cal. What's that like? Talk to us.
That is crazy.
You've just done his full 6S punch.
This has more power than I expected. I thought the low KV would keep it in check, but...
Oh, okay, that's scaring me. Stop doing that.
But apparently it's not, because this is pure sickness, mate. This is incredible.
Pure sickness. Also, these are not the most aggressive props.
Wow. It's not just the noise it's making, it's how fast it's actually going up, man. This is just crazy. I feel like I'm half a K in the air. Wow. Wow, man, this is something special. I hate to say that, I don't like to sound cliche, but I thought it was just going to be, another great quad. Everything that's coming out lately is great, compared to what we were dealing with a year or two ago, that's for sure. So it's hard to really distinguish yourself in the market at the moment. But this thing, I thought it was just going to be another great machine, but it's greater than great. Wow, I can't believe the gobs of power that this has on 6S. This is just incredible. God. And it feels agile. It does really actually feel agile. I thought the weight, I thought I'd be able to feel the weight of it, but I guess that's just overcome by the sheer power and torque.
Are you excited for a speed run?
Yeah, no, I have no idea what it's going to do in the speed run, but it's going to be significant, I'm sure. So, what are the props are we running on at the moment?
Wind dancers.
Okay. Boy.
Stop that!
This has a lot of power and agility mixed into one package. I didn't expect to be able to get both things together, and that's agility and this kind of power. I didn't think they were congruent, but apparently they are, and Diatone's managed to pull it off with this. So I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something right, whether it's those motors or they've managed to do a lot with their flight controllers as well in the last 12 months or so. They've gotten a lot better too. But obviously these motors are doing something special too, especially with 6S and that 1950 kV. I thought, I really didn't expect much, not even with 6S. I thought it'd feel like a fast 4S, but this feels faster than a fast 4S.
Are you impressed?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, we should get some. What's the camera like?
The camera's very good. There's nothing to complain about.
It's smooth
whatsoever.
Is it a smooth flyer in the air?
I haven't even thought about it, which tells me that that is a good camera, because I've got no complaints whatsoever. So, no, the camera's great. Great vision. There's no interference whatsoever. You've got those capacitors, which Diatone are putting on everything these days. They seem to be doing its job really well. It's got a nice on-screen display. I've got no complaints. Good light handling skills. We've got a nice bright sun in the sky today. I'm not having any problems.
All right.
At all.
You've okay. I'm interested to hear what's Cal's famous 4 words on this thing.
Now, look, guys, this is a serious machine. It is. It really is. So I would not recommend this. Well, maybe I would recommend it for beginners, because if you run it on 4S, it's going to be very tame, and you can kind of graduate to higher voltage batteries as your skill actually progresses, which is neat. So maybe it's a quad that could actually suit everybody, from the beginner to the advanced racer.
I'm just going to go pick it up.
Maybe it is a quad that would suit everybody, because with the beginner you could start on 4S, it'd be relatively tame, and as your skills progress you just move on up to 5S and eventually up to 6 until you've got a dead set racing weapon. There's no doubt about that, and in the hands of a good pilot this is going to raise eyebrows for everyone at the track.
All right, okay, what I want to do now, because Trevor's not here, but let's say miles per hour, we're ready, we're going to do a speed run. What do you think this is going to get miles per hour on a 6S?
It's always so hard when we start messing around with 5 and 6S to predict exactly what's going to go on here. But I feel to me it feels like it's going to go over 100 mile an hour without any problem at all. So look, just to be conservative about, I'm going to go 105. I could be completely wrong. Okay. I don't know. But
okay, based on your reaction, because I haven't flown it on, I've only flown it on 5S, I'm going to say 120 miles per hour.
Look, that's possible.
Okay.
Let's just get on the gear and find out.
Let's do it. All right.
All right. Okay guys, what we got today is another offering from Diatone. I think it's probably their best offering yet. It is the Meaty Boy. I've forgotten what it's called because it's got one of those bizarre names. But I tell you what, this thing is a beast. It's a 6S beast. This thing's gonna go over 100 miles an hour. I'm absolutely certain of it. So I got to be careful that I don't end up with a Diatone drone stuck in my face. So we're just going to make sure we've got some good coverage behind me. I've got the shield ready and I'm on the ball because, man, this thing is a fast machine. And tell you what, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have a pilot that I didn't trust in control. So
are you ready?
I'm ready, Stu. I kind of trust him anyway, so let's give it a go. Alright. It's a badass with a little machine. Alright. Okay. What can we do? What can we do? Come on. Yep. Send it. Woo! 104. 104 miles per hour. Let's give it another go. 97 on that second one. It's doing 100 mile an hour pretty damn easily. 102. And obviously, guys, you start experimenting with props and everything. You're going to get some variability here, so faster, slower, all depending on what props you're using. $100 mile an hour. Look at it. Stop it! See? This is what I have to contend with. This is why I've got life insurance. $104.
104?
Yeah.
Well, what'd you say, 105?
I did.
I said 120. I was really hoping for some craziness, but still, the important part for me was in there, it was very controllable, very stable. Is that what you found when you were punching it? It wasn't unruly at all, which is, sometimes they can get a little bit crazy up in those high speeds, but definitely...
Look, who's going to be doing over 100 mile an hour around a track anyway?
And did you want, this is the part that's going to blow your mind. Do you know the pitch of wind dancers?
No.
50-42. So that's like the lightest prop ever, 50-40, mate. Need to come back, do a bit more testing. I think it's up here based on your camera, but we need to come back, do some more testing, and we might hit 120 miles per hour. Anyway.
Right. Get some cyclones or some A-vans on it.
Something hardcore we'll put on the Meaty Boy.
Some Hulkies, yeah.
Alrighty, so there it is. There's my part 2 review, the flight review of the Meaty Boy, and it's beautiful, it's meaty, it's powerful. This is sounding very bizarre, but it really does its job well. Good job, Diatone, and I'm gonna say, I do think it's better, like I mentioned, than the Hawk 5, and I know some people are going to get upset, and Stuart, you said that was the best. Yeah, that was 6 months ago, mate. Time to move on, time to change. That's a lifetime in terms of drones. Think of it, if you were, what's another review? If you were reviewing video games and you said, these graphics are amazing, look at them, you know, and that was in 1995, and then a lifetime came around 10 years later, look at the graphics, you might have given them 10 back then, but now have moved so forward, so much further. Same thing with drones, you know, these 2 years or 6 months is a lifetime of drones. The $220 Emax Hawk 5, it used to be amazing. It still is an amazing craft, and it was, you know, it got some very, very high scores on the channel. But now, 6 months later, this thing has come along. It blows it out of the water as far as I'm concerned. I love the handling. It is rock solid. And the fact that it is so versatile, if you are a beginner, you can put a 4S on here, and you saw a lot of that footage, it is still screaming around, having an awesome time. Then you can put a 5S if you want to step it up more, and if you're ready for some insanity, punching a hole in the sky that still is very, very controllable. You can tell how excited I am just talking about it. You can stick a 6S on here, and that's what I like. I like a drone that you can get, it's strong, reliable, all that sort of stuff, but it can grow with you, grow with your skills. You've just got to change the battery. And I think they've done a very, very cool thing here with the Meaty Boy. Now, I also want to mention that top speed. You might be saying, oh, Stuart, that's not too much. You know, that's just a 6S. Oh, wait, they should be getting a lot more. Yes, we're going to do some more testing because the pitch of these 50-42s, they are about the smoothest, shallowest props you can get. So it was hitting that speed and on some very, very, I'm not going to say soft, but not aggressive props, very, very passive props indeed. And if that's what we're going to do with the Meaty Boy, we're going to put some chunky monsters on here, some Avans or something really, really aggressive, slap a 6S on here, and I really think that we might be able to crack the 220, what I'm talking about, the 120 miles per hour. So overall, you're going to see this a lot more on the channel. I've just got a prototype. It's not perfect. I would like a bit of a better GoPro mount, but I don't know if that was just because, look, mine is a prototype, and hopefully we'll be getting some stronger ones or some extra prints or something in the future. I didn't like how mine broke so easily, and you're going to need a bit of I need a bit more tilt on my GoPro mount because this thing is going to be going a lot faster. I want like a 45-degree mount. Please, Diatone, make a more durable TPU mount that is also at 45 degrees for our GoPro. Anyway, what do you guys think about the Meaty Boy? Do you think it's time that the Hawk 5 moved over? Because look, it's been about 6 months. What do you think about going to 4S, 5S or 6S and seeing how well this thing flies regardless? It is pinpoint accuracy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe for more FPV meaty related action, and as always, happy flying. Can I just say, that was like one of the longest rambles at the end of my videos I think I've ever done. Anyway, happy flying.